is the year, make, and model of this vehicle?
2014 Chevy Cruze.
A 7-year-old car. The first time you take it to the defendant was in February. You say that he repaired a water pump.
Yes.
He says he never did that.
Correct.
Yes, he did.
There seem to have been a number of visits to the defendant's shop, but I only see one receipt. I would think that if you'd gone back on repeated trips, you would have more than one invoice.
Not only was I not given a receipt, and I agree that I should have asked for one as a responsible adult, but I was never given out a printed estimate of anything that was wrong with my car.
But you claim that he's responsible for the catalytic converters that you bought. He didn't sell them to you.
Right.
Why are you not suing the party who sold you the equipment?
Correct. I believe that I was misled when he told me that I had a bad catalytic converter. He advised me, and I quote, "I advise you to go onto eBay, get one for around $100, and I will put it in."
To me, that's illustrative of nothing except the fact that he was trying to save you money.
And I do appreciate him trying to save me money. It's not California compliant.
It's not
It has to be California compliant.
So the crux of your complaint against this defendant, as you described it in your complaint, was that another mechanic gave you information that an aftermarket catalytic converter was never going to work in the car. Which mechanic was that? Because I saw a number of your mechanics reports in your evidence. And I didn't see any of those reports suggest that an aftermarket catalytic converter wouldn't work.
Right.
What I saw in those exhibits was that this catalytic converter didn't work.
Yeah, my material doesn't say that that it was this catalytic converter that wasn't going to work. It simply states that it was an aftermarket catalytic converter. As a matter of fact, I don't really have any evidence.
But the premise of your lawsuit against him requires you to demonstrate to us that he gave you advice that would never work.
Your Honor, is that this is only to tell a story. Bringing this in is only to tell a story.
Okay, but I understand that. And it's not simply an open-ended narrative. It's a story where you've got to prove certain points. And I'm spending time with you because it's your burden. So let's focus on what is the work that you claim was unnecessary.
I guess we're going to go to Exhibit E, which would be the receipt for the work that he did on my car.
Yeah, this is the one that's dated September 25th.
Very much chicken scratch, yes.
Sir, you wrote this receipt, correct?
Yes,
Can you just decipher it for us, please? Tell us what this
Line
receipt...
number 1 is a 1.4 head from the dealer.
Okay.
Line 2 is a head set, which is all the gaskets to put the head on the vehicle.
Yep.
From the dealer.
Okay.
Line 3 are head bolts. Line 4 is an oil and filter. Line 5 is coolant. Line 6 is a turbo return line, which we did not charge. Line 7 is a coolant hose, which we did not charge. Line 8 is a water pump, which we did not charge.
So this is the big bulk of the work. This, Ms. Reed, is what you contend was unnecessary.
Yes.
So tell me, of these items, what was unnecessary and what's your evidence for that?
All of it. None of it was necessary.
Okay. You got to prove it.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Of course. Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you my story, if that's okay.
Well, you know, I needed an answer to a specific question. So I'm going to pass the case to Judge Domingo. I'm going to remind you that frustration with a car mechanic over a 7-year-old car does not in and of itself give rise to liability.
Right, but you're not letting me
premising your
finish.
case. You're not here to tell a bedtime story. You're here to give me evidence that I find material. So far, you haven't done that.
I do have evidence.
Judge Domingo?
You did have problems with the car, right?
Yes.
So if it weren't for the things that he found wrong, then what was wrong with the car?
Well, when I picked up my car after having $2,200 worth of work done to it, I got in my car and drove off, and it was making even worse noise.
You can't be crying over a car.
No,
Please tell me
I
you're
feel
not.
like I'm like being attacked when I'm not.
Please don't suggest. I'm sorry,
I'm
Judge.
not allowed to tell.
No.
I just want to tell my story.
Excuse me, ma'am. I am not going to let you characterize my legal examination as an attack. You are here to answer questions. I have the right to ask questions. So that's not an attack. That's court.